Are you looking for something to add to your bucket list? Why not add a personalized video with Cameo from me, Foodie Beauty? Cameos make great gifts for special occasions such as birthdays and baby showers. Or maybe you just need a good pep talk. Get yours now.
Hi guys, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I should have done a long time ago. We've been home from Thailand since October 10th, so it's been a little while, a few weeks, and I want to conclude the trip with a kind of give you an idea and some tips, give you an idea of what we spent budget-wise, and give you some tips if you're planning on, you know, traveling to Thailand as a first-time traveler. And these are things that I kind of wish that I knew as well, that somebody would have given me tips on. I did look up some tips before we went, but some things, you know, you just have to kind of experience to get an idea of what it's like. So we went to Thailand from August 29th until October 10th, I believe it is. And these are just going to be kind of rough estimates. We actually think we ended up spending a little more on little like nuances that we're just not thinking of right now, but feel free to also ask your questions in the comments. I'll try to answer as many as I can. So I had to write down some notes because I will not remember all this. All right, I'll start with the tips and then I'll get into what we spent and the budget, all right? So number one thing that stands out the most, I guess, is, you know, we went during monsoon season. We didn't really care too much about the weather. Luckily for us, we love the rain. We love thunderstorms. It was nice watching the lightning shows every day, every afternoon, after we would get back from an attraction and watch the lightning and thunder, you know, watch the lightning and listen to the thunder from our balcony. But if you're somebody who's looking to stay dry and wants more of the sunshine, I would go in the more spring, like summer months, I guess. I don't know if they have spring, but monsoon season, we went right in the middle of that, you know, like September, October. So, but they are apparently the more affordable season. So if you're looking to save money on your trip, you might want to go on the off season, the rainy season. If you can put up with the rain, the umbrellas are very affordable there. So for us, it wasn't a big deal, actually. It did honestly get a bit tiring after a while because it literally, when I'm not exaggerating, it rained hard and thunder. There was a thunderstorm every afternoon, and I'll insert some of the clips I have from that here. And we did actually get stuck in some floods going to Khao Road. We did do videos on that, as you saw. But so if you're wanting to avoid that kind of thing, you know, just messy weather, some attractions are not as fun in the rain. So it just depends, you know, boat rides, etc. So if you don't want the rain, do not go in monsoon season, September, October, maybe even November. Another thing I discovered is a bit of fat shaming. If you're, you know, a bit bigger, if you're a big woman, a big person, big woman, big man, you might get a bit fat shamed. It's only happened to me once, and I don't feel like it was actual like fat shaming. You know, I think the person was just being honest, or there might have been like a language barrier. I didn't feel any malice from their comments. But the person, I mean, I did a video on that as well. All of them are on our couple's channel, mostly. Some of them on my channel here. But they did make, you know, this woman did make a comment on the street thinking I was pregnant and saying I eat too much and stuff like that. So if you get embarrassed by that kind of thing, luckily for me, I don't get easily embarrassed. But if you do get easily embarrassed and you don't like people picking out your appearance or, you know, kind of pointing you out in public and stuff like that, maybe be wary of that. That might happen to you. My advice is just not to take it personal, and you'll be fine. I've heard rumors of this before going to Thailand, but I wasn't sure. Now, we stayed at 3 different hotels, and 2 of them did not allow anyone to bring in durian fruit or mangosteen inside of the hotel room because of, well, the durian, because of the strong odor. I can't blame them. There was one hotel we were allowed to bring durian and it lingered in the room the whole time. My bad. Mangosteen, apparently it stains and it's hard to get the stains out, and the hotel sheets are bleach white. So they do not want any mangosteen or durian, and they actually charge a fine of, it depends, some of them 3,000 baht. So yeah, you might not want to do that. Another thing is the transportation. The transportation is very tricky and finicky sometimes. They have apps. We used apps such as Bolt, Grab. There's tuk-tuks. Those are like privately owned by the tuk-tuk owner. Grab and Bolt are like an Uber kind of thing, or Lyft. But even though they're a company like that, you put in where you want to go and then they scan for drivers. And the thing is that the drivers have a right to refuse the ride. I'm not sure if it's like that in Uber. I'm pretty sure they can, but they're very like, they'll refuse for just anything, for like no reason. You know, if they just don't want to, if it's not enough money, they just won't do it. Like sometimes if our ride was only going to cost 85 baht, we had to wait like forever to try to find a driver. But if it was like 200 baht, they would pick up just like that. So because they're based on commission, the higher the price of the ride, the more likely they're going to be like, I want that one, you know. Also depends on traffic. The traffic jams in Thailand are bad, especially in the you know, the business hours. In the early evening, it's really bad. It's really bad. It's annoying. Sometimes it would take us an hour to get to a place that's like 20 minutes away or more. The good thing about the transportation apps is that they charge a flat rate no matter how long it takes you to get there, instead of a meter. But the taxis are allowed to refuse trips as well. So just be aware that your ride might get canceled. You just have to have a lot of patience and you'll be fine. All right, now I'm gonna get to the budget, the money side of things. All right, I'm gonna tell you how much we spent on each category roughly, and things like that. So the currency in Thailand is the Thai baht. To give you an idea, 1 Canadian dollar is 25 baht. USD is 35 baht. British gold pound, 43 baht, and Australian dollar, 22 baht. For KD, for Kuwaiti dinar, it's 115 baht. You can use your credit cards, but they primarily like cash there. So they like you to use the Thai baht while you're purchasing things in Thailand. You can even pay for your hotels that way. It seems that the cash currency is actually preferred over other methods. So make sure you exchange enough money. And I think the best place to do that, from what I understand, is, I've been told, is at the airport. There's a whole bunch of booths, so make sure you look for, you know, you compare prices. It can be competitive to get the most bang for your buck. Now, we actually found a really good exchange rate at a place here in Kuwait before we left, so we were able to exchange all of the money that way. Some things we did pay by credit card, but mostly cash. So we have different categories for the budget, okay? you might go over because especially if it's your first time in a country, you know, it just happens, you know. Now, we're gonna start with the airfare. So we flew with Qatar Airways, and the airfare was 300 KD per person. Now I'm gonna talk in KD and bahts, and I'll put the conversions for other currencies here somewhere, okay? So to give you an idea. So yeah, so we spent total 600 KD for the flights alone. That was return trip. The hotels, again, we stayed in Bangkok for, was it a couple of weeks? And then we went to Pattaya, and then we went back to Bangkok. So we spent a total of it was 248 KD for the hotels total, which is 30,000 baht. Yes. But these are approximations within like few give or take, but 30,000. Transportation. So transportation on a daily basis, like if we're going to attractions, now you can spend a lot less, okay? You can take the boat we took to get to Icon Siam, the hop on, hop off, 30 baht per person. So cheap, dirt cheap. You can take public transportation, maybe 60 baht, you know, for the Sky Train, whatever. We don't really like people-y places, and I just like the comfort of the AC, the comfort of the getting to A and B very quickly. So if you're looking at taking a Bolt or a taxi, you're going to be looking at, from where we were, depends how far you are, right? We spent about 300 baht a day on transportation. And it cost us to get from Bangkok to Pattaya, about from there and back, about 4,000 baht. It was about 2,000 baht per way. So we spent about 16,000 baht in transportation. But again, you could save on those costs, definitely. Now this was in budget for us, so that's fine. We made sure to budget extra because I know myself, and you know, Salah is similar with these things. So we knew, like, okay, if we have to cut corners somewhere else, you know, we want to be comfortable with the transportation. So we don't want to stress ourselves out with planning all of the extra where I need to transfer on this bus. No. The bus, I think, is like 8 baht. If you really want to save and you have no problem with public transportation, you can save a lot of money. Food is a major expense, that's for sure. We spent 26,000 baht total for the trip on food, give or take. That's actually not including, those are just meals. That's not including trips to the 7-Eleven. We would spend about 500 to 600 baht per day on food. The food was kind of pricey because we would be ordering in or going to restaurants. Sometimes we would go to a fancier restaurant and it would cost 1,500 baht instead of the 500 baht a day. You could eat street food sometimes for 80 baht a meal for a plate of pad thai. So, but Salah's Arab and he loves Arab food. So we would go to Arab Street a lot and like go to the shisha lounges and eat a huge Arabic meal, those kinds of things. You know, we did enjoy the street food once in a while. We went to Jod Fair, yada yada. But overall, we did spend a lot more on food than, I mean, you could find cheaper as well. It just depends on what you're wanting to spend and how good you are at finding deals and stuff like that. Attractions. So you have to budget for attractions because they cost money and you have to find the best price. It's a bit tricky. There are different companies that sell ticket prices at a discounted price. So try not to book directly from the actual site if you can. So for example, the elephants cost 2,000 baht each for the day, but we were able to find it at 1,800 each because we bought off of a site. The tigers were 1,200 baht for the two of us. We got on a special as well. I think the sanctuary truth was 800 for the two of us, 800 baht. Big Buddha was free. There's some attractions that are free. There's a ton of free things you can do. Lumpini Park is free. Many of the parks are free. There's a lot of things you can do for free. Some temples are free, some charge. You just have to really do your research. But for us, we did a few expensive attractions, and like the elephant conservation, etc. But there are some that were free, and we spent about 20,000 baht total for attractions. Souvenirs and gifts, we actually had to purchase some luggage, which was kind of pricey. We had to buy 2 suitcases to fit everything we bought. After we came back, we gathered with family and friends, and we gave out the gifts we brought, just little things, but we ended up spending about 15,000 baht on souvenirs. And then, including the suitcases, I can't remember how much exactly they were. I'd have to ask Salah. He purchased them. I don't remember. I forgot to ask him. But the souvenirs were 15,000 baht, roughly. So then we have SIM cards. You're going to have to get SIM cards. You can get them in the airport when you arrive. There's so many booths of SIM cards everywhere. Very competitive, so be sure to shop around. I know it's probably not the first thing you want to do when you're tired and arriving, but you have to do it. They have really good all-inclusive, like unlimited data plans, high-speed data plans, 5G. And those were 4,000 for the two of us, 4,000 baht for the two of us for the entire time we were there. So all in all, we spent approximately 115,000 baht for the entire trip. So that's 1,000 KD. But Salah thinks it's a bit more. But that's basically what we spent for all of these categories. So it just depends. Like I said, if what you spend on transportation, you can spend less. And it's entirely possible to spend a lot more. You could eat at more gourmet restaurants. You could be doing a lot more things, theme parks. It just depends on your budget and how much you're willing to spend, especially hotels. They have really, really, really fancy ones. They have really, really cheap ones. They have hostels. They have, it just depends. So, but just giving you an idea of how our experience was. But one thing's for sure, you definitely have to try 7-Eleven at least once when you're there. You have to try the Thai tea and the cheese toasties from the 7-Eleven. If anything else, you have to do it. Alright guys, so that's about it. I hope that helped you. I don't know if you guys are planning a trip to Thailand. Let me know in the comments if any of you are. And if you have any questions, I hope I can answer them for you. All in all, we had an amazing time away from the Kuwait heat. That was one of the things, especially why we wanted to go, because I was thinking, do I want to go all the way to Canada? It's still summer there, but, Thailand was still hot, but it was more humid, but it was less. It was like in the 30s, and Kuwait at the time was in the 50s. So it was a good escape from the heat. So I said, am I going to go to Canada alone? Or, I don't really want to go right now alone. I want to go on a trip with my husband. And we said, okay, let's go. It was kind of impromptu. Like, let's just go. Let's do it. So I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for listening. And I hope it helped you in some way. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.